Hi, everybody. This is Shar Dickerson, and welcome to my video tutorial on how to use Flipgrid. So, for this first episode, I'm just going to show you the very basics of using Flipgrid, and we will start with how to log in and how to set up your first Flipgrid. There's so many things that you can discover and use in Flipgrid, so we will take it a chunk at a time. All right, so let's get started. So right here, you can see I'm in info.flipgrid.com, or you can just Google or search for Flipgrid, and it will lead you to one of the choices, which would be this website, where it will say flipgrid.com. And once you're here, as you go scroll up on the upper right-hand side of your internet browser in flipgrid.com, you're going to see an educator login. So what you're going to do is either you log in. If you have an account with Microsoft or Google, you can easily log into Flipgrid. If you don't have any of those, then you are going to sign up. And you can sign up using your email address. So since I have an account in Microsoft, I'm going to go ahead and click on Educator Login. Now, as I log in there, it will just refresh here for a few minutes. And as you can see, it is already loading Flipgrid. And since I'm already logged in, it already brings me to my page. Usually it will ask you, like what I said, to either log in using your Microsoft account or your email address or your Google account or your Google email address. So from here, since I am logged in already, I'm going to go ahead and show you what you can see here as you log in. So you have here the logo of your Flipgrid, and also you have here the different menus on the top handbar, and you can see here a menu for discussion, a menu for discovery. You also have here a menu for activity. Then you have here for mixtapes, shorts, and grid pals. So like what I said, we're going to take it a chunk at a time, and we're going to start with discussion. So in discussion, as I click on that one and it loads up back again, you're able to create groups for your learning communities and add topics to start the discussion. So you can see I have 9 groups, and some of them are active and some of them are not. Or some of them, actually, I have to archive already because it has already been done and over with. So right here, to create a group discussion, we're going to click on the button Create a Group. And when you click on Create a Group, it will ask you in this field under Group Name, the name for your community or classroom. So if you want to focus on your grade level, or let us say your content area, or a special class that you are teaching, whether it is for students or for adults, then you can name that group. So for right here, I'm just going to create here, let's say this is my podcasting group. Okay, podcasting for students. All right. Now the code it's generated automatically by Flipgrid. So since my last name is Dickerson, it just added a few more numbers at the end of my last name. Or you can also customize it. When you customize, you may have to battle with what is available, especially if your last name, let's say, or the name that you choose to have as your code may have been used already by thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So I'm going to leave that code as is. And from here on permissions, it's going to ask you again, do you want this to be private or public? I usually keep it private, especially if I am working with students, and students could mean children from the age of, let's say, elementary to high school or even university, but also even with adult learners such as teachers and administrators. So I'm going to keep it private, and I'm going to indicate here by student email, and I can add here the extension name of the email address that from my district where I work at. So I'm going to enter that, and you can also do the same. Or if you have a very specific Microsoft or Google account for email addresses for your students, you can add the end name for that as well in here in this field. Or you can go by student username, whichever floats your boat. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the features. In the features, would you allow students to receive email notifications when new topics are created and new videos recorded? So again, it depends on how involved you would like to use Flipgrid, and also how you want your students to be involved in using Flipgrid as well. So take note of the district email addresses if you're working in a district, or school email address if you're working in a private school or charter school. Then you need to make sure that you include that, or or even consider that. And of course, we're going to leave our status as active because this is something that you are planning to release to your students pretty soon. Or you can have it hidden first if you're not ready. Then you can just hide the group, and then you can go back and make it active again once you're ready to release it. But I'm just going to keep mine active for the sake of demonstrating what I'm showing here. Now, the next nice thing, or the one of the fun parts, is personalizing your group cover. So you can select an image, so you can drop a file or click to browse in your computer, whatever pictures or photos you might want to use as a cover for your group discussion in Flipgrid. Or you can also choose existing images that is provided by Flipgrid. So there's a lot of cool images right here that you can select. And I'm going to leave it at this one just because it looks cute. And then once you have selected your image, you're going to go ahead and click Create Group. So I'm going to click on Create Group. And it says your group is ready. So now you will just have to share this to your students. Again, whether the students would mean young learners or adult learners. So there are different ways to share this. You can simply copy that link, or you can share a QR code and download this QR code and post it on your website, or send it via email to your students so they can use their mobile phones or tablets if they would like to. If you are a Google district, you can share this automatically to your Google Classroom. You can also embed the code. So when you click on embed code, simply by clicking on it, you have already copied the embed code, and you can apply that in your own website or whatever website your school may be using. You can also share it to Microsoft Teams. So being a Microsoft person myself, I can go ahead and click this and make sure that your class has a team in Microsoft Teams. I hope that makes sense. And then it will automatically link and share, and you can easily find the section or class that you want this particular Flipgrid to show up in Microsoft Teams. You can also share it on Remind. Remind is an application that you can publish announcements. So you can publish this discussion if, let's say, for parents, if you want to get their feedback on something, or if you want to showcase something. It all depends on how you're using the Flipgrid with regard to the content of your choice. And you can also post it to Twitter. So if you want this particular discussion to be open to the public, and you want just to collect feedback from the public based on your followers, then you can post the link to Twitter, and as long as, of course, you have a Twitter account. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy just regular the link up here, and I'm going to go ahead and close that. And there it is. So this is, again, my discussion. It's called Podcasting for Students. And probably I'm going to spend time here asking for ideas and thoughts and views of my teachers and administrators or adult learners to share their views about podcasting for students. So from this point, you can go ahead and share. Let's say, again, share. The link is right there. You can copy that link and post it anywhere in any social media or in a website or whatever form or type of communication you typically use. You can also go back and edit by clicking that pencil, and you can edit the group the same way I've shown you how to set it up. You can also, under actions, add a co-pilot, meaning a collaborator in this group discussion that you've just created. Duplicate the same group if you're using it as a template. You can also set up group notifications. Teams integration, there you go. So if you're a Microsoft Teams or a Microsoft district, and you have Microsoft Teams, then you can integrate Flipgrid into your Microsoft Teams, which is wonderful. You can also export data from here. Again, as long as there are people who have started recording and posting their response in your Flipgrid, or you can simply delete the group from here. So with here, I can simply edit here what it says on the first topic, and I can keep on adding different topics under the group discussion podcasting for students. So that is the end of our first episode. In our next episode, we will dive deeper in using Flipgrid. Thank you very much for watching and listening.